When you walk into a premium strata building, the lobby usually looks spotless. The marble shines, the glass is clear, the air smells fresh. But beneath that polished surface, on a microscopic level, every footstep deposits abrasive dirt and acidic moisture directly into the pores of the floor. The lobbies, lifts, and corridors dictate how residents perceive the entire property. The moment these areas start showing wear or smelling stale, the strata manager's phone starts ringing. Saturated entry mats transform from floor protection into active slip hazards, and every fingerprint on a lift button represents a localized point of cross-contamination. Running a quick mop over a floor or wiping a surface with a generic cleaner creates an illusion of safety. It makes a space look tidy while allowing structural deterioration and health risks to quietly accelerate. This diagram shows the strict boundary line drawn by the New South Wales Strata Schemes Management Act 2015. Everything outside the private lot, the lobby, the lift shafts, the corridors, and the stairwells, highlighted in red, is legally defined as common property. That classification means the owner's corporation carries the burden of keeping those spaces safe. Under the Work Health and Safety Act 2011, maintaining this environment is a strict legal duty of care to actively eliminate hazards. Relying on a vague, clean as needed instruction leaves the building exposed. To shield the owner's corporation from liability, you need documented, specific protocols that prove hazards are being systematically removed. The lobby is your building's primary filter against street dirt. Protecting it requires a three-tiered approach: daily spot checks to catch spills and vacuum entry mats, a weekly deep clean, and a seasonal refresh to restore surfaces. The exact chemistry used in that weekly deep clean is dictated entirely by the floor material, guided by the Australian standard 4674 for hard floor maintenance. This chart compares the daily maintenance burden of high-end porous materials. Marble can cost up to $220 per 100 square meters to maintain, while terrazzo is slightly lower. Both materials require a specialized pH-neutral stone cleaner because anything acidic will permanently etch the surface. Polished concrete changes the economics entirely, dropping the daily cost to as low as $90. But it carries its own strict rule. You must avoid high pH alkaline cleaners, which will strip the sheen right off the polish. By matching the correct chemical compound to the architectural finish, you preserve the structural integrity of the building's most expensive assets. Moving past the lobby, the lift cabin presents the highest density of traffic in the entire building. It cycles 200 times a day, concentrating dirt and pathogens in a tight, confined space. This graph maps the daily traffic flow of a typical residential tower, hitting obvious peaks during the morning and evening commutes. To take a lift out of service for a deep clean without aggravating residents, you have to target this steep drop-off in the middle of the afternoon, precisely between 2 and 4 p.m. During that window, the daily sanitization protocol for the control panels comes into play. Cleaners apply a TGA-approved quaternary ammonium solution, a fast-drying, hospital-grade disinfectant. The rule is to spray the cloth first, never the buttons directly, preventing moisture from shorting the electronics behind the panel. The stainless steel walls and mirrors require their own regimen. Wiping down the steel panels from top to bottom, following the grain, prevents the watermarks and visible streaking that routinely trigger tenant complaints. By combining precise chemical application with strategic scheduling, you turn a high-risk operational choke point into a consistently safe transit zone. Branching out from the lifts are the corridors and fire stairs. Because these areas rarely generate revenue and are mostly out of sight, they are frequently dropped from generic cleaning contracts. Skipping the fire stairs builds up a massive liability. If dust accumulates on the treads or a spill is left unmopped, those minor maintenance oversights instantly become critical slip and fall hazards during a building evacuation. Back in the main corridors, you have continuous lengths of handrails and multiple door handles. Wiping these down daily with a fast-drying disinfectant stops residents from passing pathogens between floors. Overlooking these secondary spaces compromises the whole system. Ignoring the egress routes actively turns a safety feature into a primary hazard exactly when residents need it most. All of these physical tasks require an administrative framework to guarantee they actually get done. That is the purpose of a cleaning specification document. This document spells out the exact scope of work, breaking down tasks by daily, weekly, and seasonal frequencies. It mandates specific work health and safety compliance standards and requires chemical types, like pH-neutral cleaner, rather than naming specific commercial brands, allowing contractors to bid competitively. It also sets the rules for reporting. With daily checklists and real-time photographic updates sent directly from the cleaning crew, Strata managers gain an immediate auditable paper trail. Locking in a formal specification shifts the Strata manager out of the trap of constantly reacting to complaints, giving them direct control over building compliance and vendor costs. A Strata property thrives on predictability. When you align clear legal definitions of common property with exact chemical applications and strict daily schedules, you build a physical and legal fortress around the building. Maintaining these spaces is the necessary work of earning resident trust, ensuring community safety, and protecting the long-term value of the property.